Hello, my name is Nea and welcome to Crafts and Treasures. And today I want to transform some cheap plastic miniatures into something strawberry related so they would fit my custom Sylvanian Families Strawberry Cottage. And at first I think we should go through kind of like what do I have currently and see if we can find some inspiration. So this is my scrap box full of like mostly wooden pieces, but also some plastic ones. And they are all organized, even though it doesn't look like it, but they're all in these Ziploc bags. So I actually know what's in each of the bags. And this bag is mostly full of like kitchen related stuff. As you can see, there's cups, some molds for muffins or cupcakes, and I'm not really sure what I want to do. I have some ideas, like I have an idea for these plates, so we're definitely keeping these, but like everything else is kind of like out in the air right now. So that's why I want to go through them all and think, like I was really thinking, should I turn in some of these cups, or like, because I think this is supposed to be like a massive wine glass. So maybe I could turn these kind of dishes into like flower vases or something. But I don't really know what to add to those. Like they look pretty nice as just like, you know, wannabe glass vases. So I don't know. These utensils, I have no idea. Like what's the deal with these? Are these like salad utensils for Barbies? But what's with the knife now? Like I don't get it. They're massive and kind of ugly. So I was thinking like maybe we could turn them into looking like wood or something. Yeah, some angels, but that's not my vibe at all. Another bowl that could actually be just cute as it is, and some sort of a vase as well. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting pieces that I really wish, like this frying pan. That's so cute. I don't really know what to do with it, but I might want to keep it just in case like I get an idea. Cute bowl, too bright though, way too bright. And oh, this would be so nice with Sunday. But okay. I think I'm gonna keep these pieces and then we'll see what we can make out of them. So first we have some wall plates, and since everything's gonna be strawberry themed, I really want to make these really cute, and I immediately thought these would look really nice on my strawberry cottage if I just painted them really well. So what we're gonna do is sand them with this really fine sandpaper just to like prepare them for the paint, because like paint doesn't always stick to plastic really well. You know. So I'm gonna sand them throughout really nice. I'm not too worried about the backside because I plan on gluing this to the wall. Like I really want that old cottage core, grandma core vibe with these. So yeah, I'm just gonna mostly sand the spots that I'm gonna be painting. So yeah, now they seem good. I can see that they're sanded all over, and all I need to do now is start with the base coats. And you could use gesso. I don't have any, so I'm just gonna swing with it, like everything that I already have. I don't want to be buying anything for this project. It's just like I just moved. I kind of just wanna have fun, craft a little, like after a long time. So I'm just gonna go ahead, swing it with some acrylic paint. And see how it works. This one actually seems to stick really well, and if it seems like if you want to do this and it seems like your paint isn't sticking well, you could add some glue into the paint mixture, because that's just a great and easy way to help the paint stick. But basically I did thin layers until I got into this stage, and then it was time to start thinking about the designs I wanted to paint into the plates. And I found so many beautiful inspiration pictures, but since the scale is so small, I think we're gonna go with something simple. So I picked some dark red paint and some bright red paint, as well as mixed myself a dark greenish color for the stem and the leaves. And I'm just gonna start with kind of just trying out the design I have in my mind, and I'm just gonna go with the darkest green first, and then in layers letting the paint dry in between, add other colors. So this is the first color, and then I went on and added the strawberries that with dark red first, like, because this is like the base color. And at this point I decided let's do some layers, so I used the lighter red and some lighter green to the leaves. You can barely see it here, but now I'm just adding the final details actually with some yellow paint. So I added some seeds to the berries and the red trim around the plate, because I actually really liked how that looks. Once all the paint is dry, I decided to make it look really shiny with some nail polish. I could have used UV resin or just what do you call that? That thing you put on paintings to make it glossy. You know, I'm losing my words here. But yeah, anyway, I decided to go with the nail polish because I don't know, I just thought it would be easiest, and it's easy to get an even coat with that one. And I think they turned out pretty nice. Definitely not perfect, but you can see the little details that I painted, like little pops of color with the lighter green and lighter red. So yeah, I think they're really cool. Next, we're gonna be doing some wooden cooking utensils using these tiny plastic, well, actually they're massive in my scale, but again, I'm just gonna start by sanding them here before adding the paint. And the inspiration behind these spoons is actually that I used to have this babysitter who had this massive like wooden spoon gallery wall in her kitchen, and I always adored those spoons. Like they were just gorgeous, and she had like really some massive ones. So I kind of am like putting that memory into these pieces. And here I'm actually to achieve that wooden look, I'm mixing some brown paint with glue, obviously tacky glue like always, because I'm obsessed with that, and I'm poor and I don't have anything else right now. So I'm just gonna be first painting the handles, because I'm trying to minimize the mess I'm about to make. So yeah, but anyway, painting the stems first and then leaving them dry on a paper with the kind of like the backside laying on the paper, just in case the paint gets stuck on the paper, because sometimes that happens to me. But it's not that serious this time if it happens on the backside, because these as well will be glued on a wall later on. And after the handles are dried out, I'm just gonna paint the rest of the utensils. And here they are really shiny, as you can see, so we need to get rid of the shininess somehow. So I'm gonna get an old brush and dry brush some white. The tapping part is really important. So like when I'm dry brushing, I always tap to make sure I don't have too much of the paint. And then I'm gonna just start adding the white layer first. I'm actually gonna go with really heavy white on the base. I think it's easier to go from white to darker always. So like, don't mind if the first layer looks crazy. We're gonna do several layers here. Next, I'm gonna be mixing black and brown and dry brush that without rinsing my brush in between. So you might want to make sure that your brush is always dry and it doesn't have too much paint. Otherwise, the dry brushing doesn't work out. Here I've done few layers, I think 2 at least. And I'm just gonna add some wood grain by doing those long brush strokes. But it still looks a little bit shiny, so as a like last finish, I'm gonna just add some shaded chalk pastels. And I have some black color right here, and I'm just gonna use an old brush and just spread it all over. This one doesn't have that crazy of a pigment, and I don't mind it getting really dark, so I'm just gonna go ahead and shape all the pieces really well, especially with the spoons. You can see visibly that it helps a lot with the cup like, kind of like with the spoon part. And since they were just brown, I thought, let's add something to bring more of that strawberry-ish core thing. So I decided just to glue in a little ribbon on one of the spoons just to add a little like a pop of color. And I don't know, I feel like I'm in my like ribbon era right now. I just think they're adorable. So why not add them everywhere where we can? It could be like kind of like if someone gifted it as a present and they never just took the ribbon off. I think that would be really cute, like backstory for the spoon. And here are all of them, all done and painted. I really like that they came so dark. You could always do obviously lighter colors, but since we're using a really light wallpaper in the house, I wanted them to actually pop really well. So that's why they're so dark. And as our last piece, we're going to be making a tiny frying pan. And I wasn't really sure what to do with this one at first. So I started with just casually sanding it off and thinking if we could just go with some sort of a cast iron look, but with a twist or something decorative in it. So to achieve that cast iron look, first I'm going to be mixing black paint with some baking soda to make the paint kind of like grainy-ish. I don't know, but I love this technique. It works really well. You just have to make sure the level of graininess is the right one. If you use too much baking soda, it's just gonna crumple off. But after I started painting, I realized that actually the black paint isn't sticking that well, and it's not covering the plastic as well as I thought. So this one took millions of layers, but eventually I got there, and the pan part was finally painted black. Then it was time for the handle, and I wasn't really sure what I want to go for, but since we were doing strawberry theme, I thought, okay, maybe red could work. And I kind of wanted this enamel look, and I know it's not probably practical for the handle, but come on, it's decorative piece. So I just went ahead and tried it until I realized that it's not looking good. And I tried with several layers, but it just feels odd. Is it just me? But it just looks odd. So I decided not to focus on that for a moment, if it maybe grows on me, and focus on the pan part again, because we needed to get rid of the shininess the paint still had. So I'm adding some black shaved chalk pastels. I feel like that's such a word monster to me. Anyway, adding some shade chalk pastels to the pan, first with black, and to add some age, I'm gonna be using white as well. And I've seen a lot of miniatures use this technique, and I always love the kind of like little detail that it gives to your piece. So yeah, I really like this one, and it works always really well. I don't know if you can really see it on camera. I think there's a little bit too much shininess still going on. And at this point, I was like looking at the handle again, thinking maybe I should just start all over. So I took some nail polish remover, got rid of all of the nail polish, and decided to switch the color to white. Because white is to me like the classic enamel color. So I thought, why not just go with that and then add some details by painting some sort of design on it. And since we're doing a strawberry theme, I just thought, hey, obviously we're gonna add a strawberry into this. So I went just like with the plates ahead with some different shades of red and green, and within layers created my strawberry. And here's the finished look, and I think it looks really good compared to the old one. I'm still a bit unsure if I should have done the sides in white as well, but it is what it is, and I still like it a lot. So here's all of them together, and I think they look so good. The gallery wall is gonna be so cute, and I can't wait to glue them all in my Strawberry Cottage's kitchen wall. Anyway, this is all I got for you today, and I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!